You know, it's funny, people ask me what the big difference of working with a Fortune 500 company today versus 20 and 30 years ago, and I don't know whether any of you have done that. When I started working with Fortune 500 companies back in the 70s and 80s, you'd walk into the company and the marketing manager, and the first thing they do is they tell you about the corporation. Then they tell you about their division. And then they tell you about their department. And finally, they tell you about themselves. Go to a marketing manager today, and the first thing they tell you about is themselves. Then they tell you about their department and how their department is the most profitable department in the entire division. Then they tell you about the vision. And then finally they say, oh yeah, and then there's this company that pays my check every couple of weeks called Boeing or something like that, some giant corporation. And it's totally become inverted and changed in the last 30 years. Witness what has occurred with the whole thing of the Gen X, Gen Y, and witness of the whole bottom-up thinking. Well, this has been the result of bottom-up thinking. Corporations push bottom-up thinking. That was fine. It worked out well. But it also changed the attitudes of many of the workers from what it was. My care isn't about the company. My care is about myself. The typical at 34 years old today, the typical college grad will have had 7 jobs already. 7 jobs. The loyalty has definitely changed. I know it's changed. I've always, my whole career, I've been a vendor to Fortune 500 companies is what, I mean, I was never in that world, but I was always a supplier and vendor. I mean, back in the 70s, I worked with companies, many of these people became good friends, and we had a relationship. And in a million years, they'd say, oh yeah, well, we're going to use them. Today, you go into those companies, and the first thought is, okay, you did a good job. I'll look forward to your bid next year. Okay. No credit for this year? No. And it's a very, very different world that's out there. And that different world is causing changes in the way we think.